You're listening to the Smart Nonprofit Masterclass with me, Jose Gomez, founder and CEO of nonprofitwebsites.com and Net Ministry. If you're a leader in a nonprofit organization who wants to reach more donors, volunteers, members, supporters, and the community that you're serving using the power of the internet, then I'm already waiting for you in today's episode. So let's get started. Hey everybody, want to welcome you to another episode here. Today we're going to be talking about how to dramatically improve response to your nonprofit website content. One of the biggest concerns that I have in looking at most of the nonprofit websites I see, sometimes even our own clients who might not have, they didn't go through the consulting process or planning process. They're not really hiring us to make their content better. They're kind of managing it on their own. And also, obviously, looking at other nonprofits out there, what I see is I kind of see a recurring pattern, and this happens in small businesses too, where they focus on building the website initially, right? Everybody gets really excited. You end up building a website, put all your focus on how it looks on that home page, and I hear leaders saying they need something that has impact, and they need interaction, they need engagement, and they put all this effort on this home page. That's the first thing that people go to. And it's almost this kind of almost like a pride thing. It's kind of an ego thing that you go to my website, look at how beautiful this home page is. But then when you start digging deeper into the website, the content gets skinnier and skinnier. It's almost like no one had any time to do anything that the web designer did not do. And this is a huge mistake on the part of nonprofits. I was on Facebook. I was actually listening to a nonprofit expert that I respect quite a bit. And she was just mentioning about how money's not the problem. Our inability to engage and to ask for the money is the real issue. Her name is Jennifer Yarborough, by the way. If you ever need a consultant to speak to and help you to kind of shape up your nonprofit, she's fantastic. But Jennifer was talking about that, and she was just saying, there's plenty of money out there. We just don't know how to get it. We don't know how to ask for it. We don't know what we're doing. And website and on the websites of most organizations is where that's clearly visible 24/7. That most organizations are finding it really difficult to figure out how to really express who they are, engage their audience, and compel them to take action based on the results that they have, based on the mission, the passion that they have. And so today what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about a formula that's really been helping nonprofit leaders, really marketing companies most of all though, to get engagement online, to actually get the results that you're looking for from your content. So let's dive right into that. This is a formula that's existed almost as long as advertising has, and it's called the AIDA formula. You spell that AIDA. And AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, action, in that order. And this formula is the one that I usually compare websites to. I'll go to a home page and evaluate it based on AIDA. I'll go to secondary pages and evaluate it. Normally, again, if you've had a professional design your site, if you've gone through a process, a lot of the attention has gone to that home page. But then once you get past that, these pages really have 2 or 3 sentences on them, or they have information that's rather dry and boring. Doesn't really compel you to do very much. There's buttons everywhere to tell you to donate. There's buttons everywhere to tell you to volunteer, but there's nothing really compelling you to. So what AIDA does is it makes sure that whatever you're doing it in a way that actually walks your visitor through interaction with your site. So let's go in order here. So let's talk about A, which is for attention. You want to grab them by the eyeballs. Attention is usually done by creating a compelling headline. And if you go to our website, you go to nonprofitwebsites.com, you go to our blog and just follow along where there's a blog post with the same name as this podcast, how to dramatically improve response to your nonprofit website content. But I use an example of a website we did for an organization called True Model, and their purpose is to bring in girls that are interested, women that are interested in fashion, the modeling industry, but kind of turn all that on its head and show them how to develop into women of character. And so on their website, pretty much every page uses this AIDA formula, and again, it starts with that attention aspect on their website. For example, where they market modeling, the headline is "Looking for a modeling school in Tampa?" Question mark, and then they have a subheadline that says "True Model trains girls and young women in the essentials of modeling and the fashion industry." Now that's they do much more, but that's the headline. That's the attention-getting headline that's designed to engage the eyeballs, get somebody to say, "Yes, this is for me. I'm glad I'm here." That's so important. There's so many pages out there that just have no type of focus. You go to it, it's the name of the page, it says services, and then there's just some paragraphs of information. Now, I want to be careful because, when I say something like there's just paragraphs of information, understand that I'm not actually advocating you shorten your content. There's people out there who say, nobody reads on the internet, and it's just not true. They read tons. You want to have plenty of content, but you don't just want it to be a title and a bunch of text. There needs to be something that walks people through, and the A in AIDA ensures that they do that. So whether it's the title of the page for being very descriptive, as in the case of True Model, or you have maybe the name of the page and then you have a headline right under it that clearly illustrates why a person is here and why this page is important. And that shifts people from beta mode, which is like the mode that you're in when you drive somewhere and you don't really remember getting there, to alpha mode, when somebody cuts you off and all of a sudden your attention is completely focused on what's happening in front of you. The way that you do that is to create a compelling headline, something compelling that's going to attract their eyeballs. And this includes adding an image that complements the headline. So you want something that's going to really describe and explain what it is that you're saying very, very quickly. 3 to 6 seconds is all you have to grab their attention. Now, if you get their attention, they're going to move to the next step, and that's the I. I is for interest. The next process is really kind of creating, educating, informing, creating a sense of understanding of what it is that you're saying, what it is that you're offering. And what you're doing is you're kind of explaining the headline, right? You're saying, listen, I made this claim, I made this promise with the headline, or I asked you a question. Now I'm going to go into describing the situation, empathizing with you, helping you to understand that I know what I'm talking about, that I truly understand where you're at, and explaining a little bit about my approach. And this is designed to engage you. This is designed to gather your interest, to gain your interest, so that you continue reading. Because the interest part of it really explains and qualifies the very next step, which is the creation of desire. But I need to help you to understand where I'm coming from. I need you to understand that I connect with you through my content. And this is what your readers to your website are looking for. They're looking for a connection. So the interest part of this is designed to create that connection between the headline, the thing that got their attention in the first place, and them. It's really designed to qualify it. Now, if you do that right, and you do that with facts, with figures, with empathy statements, like we understand what you're feeling. Do you feel this? Do you feel that? If you felt that, here's some things, other things that we found. What you're wanting them to do is, as they're reading the content, to kind of be nodding their head, like, this is completely what I needed to understand. These people understand where I'm coming from. And if you're getting them as they're nodding their head into the next section, desire, then you're really headed the right way. The next portion of your content needs to be designed to create desire. Now, on the True Model site, you'll see that all over the place they do this quite well. Towards the end of the content, they start talking about values that you're going to have, and how you're going to become a woman of character, and how either the modeling or acting training or character development aspects of what they do is going to get you there. So they're creating a desire for something that you need to get, something that you may not have right now, but through their program you're going to obtain. And of course, the more that you can really help people to picture having it, right? So if you come and you volunteer for our organization, you're going to be able to experience all of these things. You're going to feel these types of things. You want them to kind of be picturing it and feeling it as they're reading the content. Whenever you're selling, it's the same thing. Don't you want to, be able to vacuum your room in 5 minutes and imagine all the things you'll be able to enjoy because now you're not spending time vacuuming your whole house. These are just, I'm making that up on the spot, but you get my point. If I can make something faster, easier, better, if I can create an opportunity that you don't have or expose you to things that you aren't normally exposed to, there's a value to it, and you want to explain that value and help them to picture having that value, possessing that value, so that they understand what's in it for them. That's the what's in it for me part, the desire part. As you tell them what's in it for them and you explain how easy it is, it's just really a matter of, and this is good, takes you to the action stage. This is the last stage of AIDA. And in this stage, you're going to tell them specifically what to do in order to engage with you, in order to get that thing that you created a desire for. So you can see how powerful this formula is. I get your attention, I educate you and qualify you about that thing that got your attention. I then start creating desire for something that you want, that you don't have, and then I provoke you to action. I say, listen, I need you to sign up for this newsletter, or I need you to click here to give towards this cause. These children will be fed. These children will be able to have homes. These pets will be able to find places, find owners that will love them. The homeless in our city will be fed. These are the types of things that you want to be talking about, and you want to do it in passionate language that speaks to your audience. And you might find that every page of your website has a different audience. In one page, you might be talking to donors. In another page, you might be talking to prospective visitors or members of your organization. So you want to think about the needs that they have, and remember that they're the hero of the story, not you. That's a really important point that a lot of organizations miss. I've missed it in our marketing. You get involved in talking about all things you're doing, but you missed the point that really your audience is the one that's the hero, not you. You're part of their story. You're part of their movie. And they've got an issue, they've got a problem, or they've got a gap or a lack in their life, or they're looking for opportunities for themselves to serve, and you're going to provide this for them. You have to make them the hero of the story. So always be thinking about what they need, what's in it for them, what they need to do in order to be a part of it, and making it as easy as possible for them to take action. So that's today what I really wanted to talk about. It's not too long of a podcast today, but I think it's a very important point. AIDA is so critical for evaluating your web pages and making sure that your content is really written the right way. I want to challenge you today to just go and look at 3 pages on your current website, if you have a website, and evaluate it against attention, interest, desire, action. Are all these components in place? One of the most frequently missed ones is the action phase. I see a lot of pages that are really great content. They've got attention, they've got interest, and I feel desire as I'm reading through the content, but then there's no way to really take action. I've got to go back to the home page and do something, or I've got to look around. There should be an immediate call to action on every single page, that if that's the only page I ever see, there's still a way to become involved with the organization. So I'd say right now, go to your website, take a look at just 3 of your pages, just pick 3 random pages and ask yourself, is AIDA in effect here? If it's not, reorganize your content and improve it immediately. You're going to see an immediate result out of improving your content. Another thing you can do too is take a few moments to actually write a brand new page, create a brand new page of your website, but use the AIDA formula to help you to do that. One of the things I do is I usually write the headline first. And then what I'll do is I'll write 3 or 4 facts or points that'll help to reinforce my headline. I just write those points first. I don't write all the detail, but I just write the 3 or 4 points. Then I sit down, I write, these are 2 or 3 things that the person who I am targeting can get out of, can have for themselves. What's in it for them that I can talk about, and then what is my final action. And I'll just kind of list those things at first, and then I go back and I kind of fill it all out and create sentences and paragraph structure around it. And don't be shy about being wordy. What you want to do is you want to really create a compelling argument. I mean, don't be too long-winded, but you don't have to consolidate this into 2 paragraphs, or it doesn't have to be 1 screen length. People will scroll if your presentation is good enough and it's speaking to them. So take a few moments right now to try that out today. I want to encourage you to jump over to nonprofitwebsites.com. We have some other tips as well. You can just go to the blog section. We post all of our podcasts there with a corresponding blog about this. So there's more materials here for today's podcast. We actually have a screenshot of the True Model website, one of the pages, so you can kind of follow along in the example. And of course, we've got some written content there that reinforces today's topic. But, do you have any questions? Let me know. Send an email over to jgomez@nonprofitwebsites.com or head over to Facebook. Facebook has become a fantastic place to just connect and discuss. I've got a group in Facebook called the Nonprofit Leader Insiders. And I'm going to give you the address right now because it's completely free. You come in there, connect with me, and I'm in there kind of checking and answering questions. Obviously, this isn't a place for full consulting, but I can definitely I can answer some questions and point in the direction that you need, and share resources with you, which I very frequently do, and even post examples and success stories. You can head over to facebook.com/groups/nonprofit insiders. And you'll know that you're there because you'll see our graphic there of the volunteer girl with the can, and you'll see it's called Nonprofit Leader Insiders. Or just head over to Facebook and search for Nonprofit Leader Insiders. It is a private group, so you do have to request access to it, but I'll approve you when I see you come in. And remember that this is for nonprofit leaders only. So if you're not a nonprofit leader and you don't have some insights to share, then I would just say don't worry about that part. Go over to the site and grab some materials. We've got 3 free downloads that you have at nonprofitwebsites.com. And feel free, like I said, to ask any questions that you might have. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Hey, thanks for tuning into today's episode of the Smart Nonprofit Masterclass. It's been a great episode, and I hope that it challenged you in some way and provided you with some tools to build, advance, and market your nonprofit. But before you go on to your day, I want to tell you about a free resource. Are you the nonprofit leader who wants to raise money for your cause, get the message out, inspire and engage your board, increase the influence of your organization? Maybe you want to attract talented staff and volunteers, or keep your supporters better informed about your wins. Maybe you even want to just establish a great reputation in your service area and in your industry. But you find that you lack the funding you need, you don't really know where to go next. Maybe you're even scared of running out of money and resources before your mission is successful. Well, we completely understand your fight and how important your mission is to this world. We've worked with over 60,000 nonprofits around the world for the last 15 years, learning about how to build, advance, and market their organizations using the internet. We have a proven success formula that we've put together, and it helps organizations accomplish their mission, get more funding, find the right donors and volunteers, and ultimately get their message out around the world about what they're doing. So they don't have to shut down, suffer from insufficient funding, attract unreliable people, or ultimately fail their mission. We've got a free checklist for each phase of our formula, which we lovingly call BAM, and they're available right now at nonprofitwebsites.com. So go download what thousands of other nonprofits have already started using to become the organization that they've always really strived to be. And it's 100% free, so you can't lose. Anyway, thank you for listening, and have a wonderful rest of your day. See you next time.